Hi there, this is Lois DeWitt. Well, I hope you watched my watercolor video of the Veggie Kabobs still life. It was beautiful, it was lots of fun, and now my still life has become ingredients for Veggie Kabobs, which I'm going to show you how to do. The recipe is in my Pop It in the Toaster Oven cookbook. It's on page 66 and 67. And it's a wonderful recipe for making kebabs. I have all of my ingredients assembled, but before I do anything else, I'm going to preheat my toaster oven to 400 degrees. Okay, so this is what I have laid out for the Veggie Kabobs, and it's hard for quantities. I actually have 5 skewers here that I'm going to be using. And this is my quantity of veggies that I have. You can use any veggies you want. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that really matters is that if it's like celery, you want to cut them small, because softer things like peppers, they can be larger because they'll cook easier. So these cauliflower are kind of in between, and I have onions that I've cut to this size. Zucchini cooks pretty quickly, so it's that size. And I've left the mushrooms whole because they cook quite easily. Now for the brushing mixture, and by the way, let's not forget the brush. This is a great brush, by the way, because it's not temperature sensitive. So for the brushing mixture, you'll need powdered cumin, powdered garlic, balsamic vinegar, soy sauce, and olive oil. And these are the quantities: 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, and 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. And then you can add salt and pepper to taste. Okay, so now I'm just going to skewer the vegetables on this metal skewer. You can use bamboo ones also. You should soak them first though. And I don't think there's any set order for this. I sort of like to intersperse the colors. So they go on quite nicely. You'll want to try to skewer them at the thickest part so that they stay on, although they will be resting so you don't on the pan, so you don't have to worry too much about it if they fall off. So that's the first skewer, and now I'll go ahead and do the rest. Now I'm just going to brush this mixture on the kebabs, and then I'm going to bake them at 400 on this broiling rack in the middle of the oven for about 40 minutes, and I'm going to test them periodically with a fork to make sure that they're done. So that's the first step. When they're done, then I'm going to broil them for 5 minutes. But first, they're going to bake, and every 10 minutes I'm going to be brushing them with this mixture. Okay, you can see that the kebabs are in the toaster oven, and they're sitting about in the middle of the oven, which is just where they should be to bake. I'm going to close the door. And what I like to do is, because it's 400 degrees, I'm going to turn the temperature off temporarily. Notice that I have an oven mitt on, and I'm just pulling the tray out like this. And then I can easily brush them. Do this better. Just run that brushing sauce over them, and then put the tray back in, and then bring the oven up to temperature again. This way you don't, the elements aren't on, it's not dangerous. And see, it comes right up to temperature again. That's the nice thing, is that if you just take the temperature off for while you're brushing and then put it back on, it goes right up to temperature again. Not a whole lot of heat has been lost in the toaster oven because the space is so small. Now, what is the advantage to having done these in the toaster oven? Well, for one thing, the vegetables are roasted. The juices inside are intact and concentrated, and the outside is just a bit crusty, and of course it has that wonderful brushing sauce flavor. So you really have a step up from your normal vegetable offering. Now, how to serve these? Well, there's a couple things. I have 5 skewers here, and the recipe says that will serve 4. We're assuming that you have a main dish. However, a nice vegetarian offering is to serve 2. That is, each person gets 2.5 skewers of luscious vegetables, and that can be accompanied by rice or potatoes or whatever your choice. Another serving option is to just push the vegetables all off the skewers, put them on a nice dish, and present them as the side dish for a lovely meal.